I just wanted to talk. That's all I wanted to do. I had, let's see, I had duct tape, I had zip ties, I had 2 brass automatic center punches, I had a fairly new old-timer pocket knife. I mean, it is what it is.
In the very early morning hours of August 15th, 2020, 24-year-old Philip A. Thomas II walks up to the screened-in back patio of Daria Ray Baronato's Florida home. Baronato is better known by her WWE ring name, Sonya Deville. With a knife from his pocket, Thomas cuts a square in the screen and steps onto the Total Diva star's private property. It's 2:43 a.m. when Thomas opens the back sliding glass door and the home security system is triggered. Baronato hears the alarm and peers out a window. She sees a man in her backyard. Baronato and her friend, a fellow WWE star who goes by the name Mandy Rose, escape the property and call 911. When police arrive at the scene, they find Thomas inside the home. He has with him a knife, duct tape, plastic zip ties, and mace. Thomas is taken into custody in Tampa, where he's questioned by detectives.
Before I can ask you any questions about tonight related to apparently you being charged with burglary, they've already explained that to you?
Yeah.
Before I can even talk to you about that, I got to read your rights. It's the same in South Carolina as it is in
Yeah,
Florida.
it's
no different. So has anyone read you your rights?
Nope, not yet.
Has anyone discussed your rights with you?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. I understand you're willing to talk.
Oh, yeah, I'm
You can see that
talk
this
to
is
a
an
certain
environment that isn't going to be, no one's going to be yelling, screaming at you. I'm not here to do that. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to get an understanding and figure out why this all occurred and how it happened.
The only reason it really occurred, I'll tell you right now.
Well,
I just wanted to have a conversation.
again, I need to give you an opportunity. I got to read these to you.
Yeah, you're fine.
So before you make a statement, I need to make sure you understand. And just so you're aware that this this is an interview that'll be audio and visually recorded. These rights, I'll go through them real quickly, and then you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, okay?
Sure.
The detective reads Thomas his rights. Thomas says he understands and is willing, to a certain extent, to answer questions without an attorney present.
The only reason I went to her house was mainly to talk. I had no intentions of harming anyone. If I wanted to do that, I would have done it as soon as she got home. Obviously, I sat there from 10:45 to 1 in the morning. Trust me, I mean, I'm a very patient guy. If I wanted to harm someone, that was my intent. Don't you think I would have done it before then? Why the hell would I sit there if I didn't have an intent to harm? I just wanted to talk. That's all I wanted to do. I had no interest in anything else. I mean, it is what it is.
Is she your girlfriend?
Oh, I mean, sure, I wish she was, but obviously she's not.
Okay.
Anyone who knows anything about her knows she's the first openly lesbian performer in WWE.
I don't know anything about her, so
She's pretty much
which person? What's her name?
the persona she has in the WWE is Sonya Deville, but her real name is Daria Baronato.
Is she famous or something?
Yes, she is.
She's famous. How do you know her?
I don't know her personally at all.
Have you ever met her in real life, or you've only seen her on TV?
Seen her in pictures. I pretty much know her if I've seen her in person. She has very unique tattoos that you would instantly notice.
Thomas responds quickly to the detective's questions. He appears eager to share what he knows about Baronato. After Thomas gives the investigator Baronato's full name and date of birth, the detective does a quick Google search on the famous wrestler.
She mainly got her rise to fame mainly when she came out as lesbian back in 2015 on WWE's show called Tough Enough. It was like a tryout before you actually be able to become a wrestler.
Okay. Did she know you were coming tonight?
No, I did. Hell, my parents and my family didn't know it. Whenever I make any plans to do anything, I don't tell anyone. I just get up and I do it. I'm not the type of person. If I'm going to get up and do something, mainly I'm a secretive guy. I don't like to travel with people. I don't like people knowing my plans. I just like to go, do what I want to do, and that's how I am.
Okay. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, true, very true.
I just pulled up a couple pictures here. Is this the same person you're talking about right now?
Yes, that's it.
So, I guess I'm just trying to understand you know who she is, you knew where she lived, and how'd you know that?
Background check.
Oh, you just ran a background check?
I mean, it's not really hard to do. I mean, if you want to find someone's address, if it's...
No, I agree with you. I think everything can be found. I was just wondering where
it's
you found it.
It's pretty much if they've bought a house, usually that's going to show up as a public record. You might have to dig a little bit online to find it, but I mean, hey, you can try harder if you can find anything you want.
But is that how you found this one?
I found it on white pages.
It literally just came up, huh?
Yeah, it actually sent me one address that was bogus, but I seen that one that I've been planning this for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months. I just waited until the time was right, until I actually had the means to do it, and then, you know.
Huh. So she's, her information was out on white pages, you found it on there. And
it wasn't really easy to find. I mean, you have to dig around and be a little more specific sometimes with the websites to find what you want to find. Because, I mean, obviously, she could or could not be the only Daria Baronado living in Florida, you know?
Yeah.
It's an interesting name.
Very true, yeah. What else do you know about her? Because I don't know anything about her. I'm trying to just figure out why WWE to me is just one of those things I've never even watched.
Personal life, she's pretty secretive. You only see bits and pieces of what she shows you. That's pretty much it.
She married?
Hell no. She has... I'm assuming the lady in the house with her tonight was, hell, probably this one she wants to be honest with you. Or it might be a friend, it might not be.
So there was another person there with her?
Sounded like it. I mean, hell, unless she's talking to herself.
Thomas casually shares the details of his obsessive search for Baranado's personal information. He admits he's been planning to break in for at least half a year, though he insists he never planned to harm the WWE champion.
What time did you leave South Carolina?
I would say roughly around 11:30, 11:45-ish when I started the trip. And I stopped a few times for gas, so it kind of slowed me down. So I was here like at 8:30-ish, I guess. So, yeah.
So 11:45 a.m. you left, drove down, you got here about 8:30. And what was the plan?
Just to go in, talk. Obviously, the zip ties were, resist, restrain hands. That way you don't get punched in the face by someone who's a mixed martial artist. But I mean, was I going to do anything to harm her? Hell no. Why would I? That's not my objective. My objective is to talk. So, and obviously the mace, hell, anyway, I don't give a damn how big you are. You get a mace in your eyes, you're going down for a second. There's nothing you can do about it, So, but to harm her, no, that was not my plan.
So you had zip ties. What else did you have on you?
I had, let's see, I had duct tape, I had zip ties, I had 2 brass automatic center punches, I had a fairly new old-timer pocket knife that was in my right front pocket here, I had my wallet, I had my keys to my car, I had my phone and phone chargers, and what else? What else? Off the top of my head, I can't really think of it. I'd have to look through the bag and see.
And what was the window punch for? Is that what you call it? Punch?
Center punch was break glass if need be.
Okay.
But then again,
You had how many of those?
2.
So you had the punch, or two punches, sorry. You had a pocket knife, duct tape, mace, and zip ties. Your wallet, your keys, and your cell phone and chargers.
Yeah.
Anything else I'm missing?
That was what was on me in the car. There was probably another backpack in it with, maybe a shirt, a pair of pants. Then
Any weapons in your vehicle?
no. The only thing you could probably consider maybe a weapon is the lug wrench to change tires. I mean, you could probably use that as a weapon if you wanted to, but it'd be pretty awkward.
Several hours passed between the time Thomas says he arrived at the promenade at Lake Park Community, where Baranado was living, and the time in question, 2:43 a.m. Detectives want to know what he was doing, or planning, up until the time of the intrusion.
You said you've been planning this for 7 or 8
In my
months.
head, I've been planning the actual trip itself to actually get down here. Probably about 7 or 8 months so I can save up money, and then, also to verify this was the actual right address and this wasn't some dead end bullshit. And then, obviously, double checking the mileage, how much it cost in gas to get down here, Obviously, so I get stranded on the middle of the way down here, so.
Oh, alright. So, tell me about tonight then, I guess when you got to the house, what happened? Because it was 8:45 and I don't know what time this whole thing went down, but it's now 4 a.m.
Mainly was just sitting in the car for a little while, then walked up from the church through the street. Walked up, since it's obviously a gated community, very poor security hell, a fucking baby could go through that. I mainly went through the woods, then the barbed wire fence, which they had, I guess they thought it would stop someone, which it won't, because hell, I crawled underneath the bottom strand. And I'm not really a small guy, So, I basically just went through the woods, went through the back, screen, sliced a little hole open, easy.
So now you're on her back porch?
Yeah, I was sitting on the back porch, like the end closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Which is probably where my boots are still at right now, soaking wet, full of water.
Oh yeah, when you went to the woods, it was...
Yeah, because part of it was, basically Florida has a lot of swamps in it, so I guess it was just, the environment, just a lot of water standing.
Okay.
Possibly from rain, I guess.
So when you got on the back porch, what happened then?
Basically just sat down and waited. Took off the boots and the sopping wet socks before I even went into the actual porch.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
You said you heard her talking. At what point did you hear her talking?
I heard her talking as soon as she pulled in, as soon as she actually got home, because she was gone. She actually posted on Instagram that she was at dinner, and then she came home. Then she sat down and watched TV for, I guess, hour or 2 hours, 3, something like that.
Oh, you were watching her?
I wasn't watching, I was sitting there listening, because the blinds were there, you couldn't really see anything.
Thomas's tone was still shockingly nonchalant as he described trekking through miles of wetland, crawling beneath a barbed wire fence, and sneaking onto Baronato's property. When detectives asked how he could have been sure Baronato was home, Thomas says he could tell by the sound of her voice.
She has a very distinct voice. If you listen to videos of her talking and then you hear her talking in, real life, you can very easily distinguish her voice.
And you were talking to somebody else inside the house?
The only person I was addressing was her.
Okay. How long were you on the back porch? You said for a couple of hours.
From about, I guess we'd say 10 o'clock till y'all came, pretty much. Because, the reason I got in the house was mainly, the only real reason I got caught was because a fucking little alarm went off when I opened the door. Hell, it's not my fault. The damn door was unlocked.
The back door was unlocked?
Yeah, the sliding door was unlocked, surprisingly.
An unlocked door enticing a perpetrator to enter someone else's home is not unheard of among potentially dangerous or obsessive individuals. A 1992 article by Tampa Bay Times even warned Tampa residents that criminals may perceive unlocked doors as personal invitations to commit a crime, after the Hillsborough County Commissioner left his front door unlocked and woke up to find his car missing from the street. As Thomas goes on, it sounds like he's blaming his break-in on Baronato's failure to fully lock up her home.
Who the hell leaves their damn door unlocked? Sure, you're in a gated community, but, still.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like I said, I meant no one no harm. If I wanted to, had every chance to do so, but I didn't.
Thomas's claim that he could have hurt Baronato if he wanted to isn't necessarily comforting or indicative of his true intentions. Many violent criminals begin with nefarious acts in which no physical harm is actually done to the victim. As they become more confident, they escalate to brutal crimes like physical assault, rape, or murder. Although Thomas has never been charged with murder, and there's no evidence indicating he should be investigated for any such act, stalking is often an indicator of other violent crimes. The National Coalition Against Domestic Violence links stalking to the murder of women and girls. And in 2018, the New York City Mayor's Office to End Domestic and Gender-Based Violence stated that stalking is a high risk factor for lethality. According to a document the office released, stalkers and their behaviors can escalate quickly.
So you get into the house,
She sees me, she runs upstairs, or what seemed to be that little place where y'all turn from the left from the garage. I think she just went hidden there for a while because, I mean, hell, after a while, the light was on, then noticed immediately got turned out. So I'm guessing she was just hiding away in there.
During his retelling of events, Thomas shows no remorse or sadness for the fear Baronato must have felt when she realized there was an intruder in her home. The detective continues to press for details about the home invasion.
Did you say anything to her?
I told her a few things. I mean, back a few years ago, 4 years ago, she was one of the reasons why I almost committed suicide and one of the reasons why I didn't commit suicide. But I mean, I don't really care to get into that. She didn't know this, but her actions did influence it a lot.
I mean, I'm sorry to have to go into that. I'm just trying to understand the thought process.
It's basically because she's lesbian. She's lesbian. I had feelings for her at the time, legit feelings.
I don't have a wife yet, but I have a girlfriend. Christina, I love you. And to all my friends in high school, because they don't know that I'm lesbian yet, this is kind of my coming out party. Woo!
Baronato came out on TV in 2015 during an interview on a reality show called Tough Enough, which was produced by the WWE. Since then, she's been vocal about her involvement in the LGBTQ+ community through interviews and social media posts. Despite knowing her sexuality, Thomas tells investigators he's been romantically interested in Baronato for years. Although they've never actually met, Thomas credits Baronato with the power to both end and save his life.
And I sent her a few DMs on Twitter, Instagram. She ignored all of them, so it's like at that point in my life, I'd already came close to dying when I was 19. So to get rejected by this point, it's like, you know what? At that point in my life, I said, if I could die, I could die. And at that point, I did want to die. But then again, I said to myself, why? Sure, dying's easy, but hell, once you're dead, you don't come back. Once you're dead, you're not coming back for So, I was like, you know what? As much as I wanted to die at that one time, maybe there was something else worth living for. I thought there might have been. And spent the next few years just trying to recollect my life and, still felt the same way, time in, time out, and no real change.
Thomas's Twitter profile is full of Baronato content. For years leading up to the break-in, he has shared her personal posts as well as any other post that mentions her. But what's the difference between Thomas's profile and a celebrity fan page? Thomas's Twitter profile publicly displays his repeated attempts to contact Baronato, as well as his unending obsession with her. He tags Baronato in several posts in which he begs her to give him a chance. In one post, he tells Baronato she is the only reason that he has not taken his life. In another, he tells a user that his feelings for Baronato will never change.
So seeing her in person, just kind of all those emotions came out?
I mean, the emotions were always there, but this time I just wanted to know mainly why she chose other people over me. Like, why not give, someone a chance to prove themselves, If I could get that answer just to hear that, just to have it a little bit closer,
Yeah.
But I mean, hey.
So do you remember what you said to her, or is there anything you remember?
I mean, that was pretty much it. I even told her, I was like, look, I mean you no harm, I'll even put it in the damn pocket knife. I folded it back up, put it in the pocket.
So when you came in, you had it out
I
just
just
in case?
had it in my hand. One hand mace, one hand knife.
Did she see this knife, or do you think that she saw the mace?
She saw a knife, but I mean, I wasn't pointing it at her. It may have been, the tip may have been pointing in her direction when I walked forward, but, wasn't actually swinging like, yeah, I'm gonna stab you. Like, no, wasn't doing that.
Was it screaming or yelling?
She was screaming sort of loud, what the why am I there, but that's it.
She was screaming, what the
Yeah.
And you immediately recognized that it was her?
Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, if it wasn't just a voice, I mean, the face, As soon as I heard the voice, I knew it was her. She has a very distinct voice.
Did you introduce yourself or try talking
She
to
didn't
her?
really even give a chance. It's like, if you would have given a chance, you would have realized, hey, it's like, the dude doesn't mean any harm, just wants to talk.
Thomas perceives Baronato's 911 call to the Hillsborough police as her refusing to give him a chance as her romantic partner. Thomas continues to minimize the incident as he speaks to detectives.
But then again, I understand her point, someone's in your house, it's not really the most, delightful feeling you can have. So of course you're gonna be a little bit scared, a little bit nervous,
Yeah. When's the last time that you called or DM'd her? You said on Instagram.
I guess, I don't know. Hell, maybe just say hi tonight, see if she will respond, but she never does.
Did she even look at it, or is there a way for you to know that she read it?
Usually if someone would see or, actually look at your messages, it would have seen on the, little small.
Oh, so it's like Facebook? Is that what you did
yeah,
on?
yeah, pretty much.
But it was on Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram, because I don't use Facebook.
Okay, so it was on Instagram, but it's the same thing. It has a scene, so you know that they've seen it, but she never saw it.
Yeah.
At any time did you ever say that you were coming down?
You mean coming down, going upstairs to her?
No, like going from South Carolina to Florida. Did she, was there any way that you would have notified her?
No.
Okay, so she had absolutely no.
She had no clue this was happening. I was probably surprised the living out of her house with you. And like I said, I didn't mean her any harm. Like I said, if I wanted to do something, hell, from 10 to 1:30ish, don't you think if someone wanted to do something that period of time, they could have?
I guess I'm just trying to understand the relationship, if there was any relationship. I want to make sure you're being honest with me.
I have no reason to lie.
Detectives ask Thomas if he's ever been diagnosed with any mental illnesses. Thomas informs them that in 2015, he was diagnosed with a condition where his brain was being eaten by something alive that might have entered through his nose when he tripped and fell into an outside bathtub. Although keywords relating to his condition are redacted in this part of the interrogation, tweets from 2019 show Thomas describing his condition as a brain-eating amoeba. He tags Sonya Deville, WWE, in the post. Brain-eating amoebas can cause infections after water containing the amoeba enters through the nose. Thomas tells investigators he had a less than 1% chance of survival from the condition.
And you would say you're pretty much recovered at this point?
From about August, when I first was diagnosed with it, till about January 31st, 2016. After that, I didn't really need the medication anymore, so I stopped taking it. Because, I already made a full recovery. I was already back in my old self, so wasn't really any need to continue taking medication. It wasn't really needed anymore,
How long has Sonya been in the WWE?
Well, ironically, she was in Tough Enough for WWE about, I guess, August 2015. Around the same time I was diagnosed with so.
And you've been a fan ever since?
Ever since I first discovered her and her work, yeah.
What drew you to her?
Well, mainly because she's just a badass person. She's a huge, activist for, the LGBT community. And she's also one of the reasons why I came out as bisexual. One of the reasons I had the courage to do so.
So you would say, I guess your feelings for her, you said they were strong, you love her?
Well, yeah. But
did you tell her that you loved her?
I told her I had feelings for her, but she usually would ignore it. Like, if she wanted to respond, she could have, but she didn't, so.
Did she read those messages?
The ones on Twitter, you couldn't really see if she did. Those were tweets, actually, so, because to DM a celebrity, you have to have, they actually have to be following you, which she was not following me, so.
What about on Instagram?
Same. There's no way to know if you actually see them or not unless it has the scene underneath.
Has she ever responded to any of your messages? No,
the only time she ever responded was one tweet about she has a company called it was started off as like a YouTube series where they travel from city to city and they try different donuts from different places, review them, and they switched from one channel to another, one YouTube channel to a new one. And so everyone was asking, they were sending tweets, asking what a new channel was, which I did the same because I didn't know. And she tweeted, responding, telling me to, give me the link to the new channel, and that's it. That's the only time I ever had any communication with her.
Okay.
Despite being arrested and charged with aggravated stalking, Thomas tells investigators he still wants to talk to Baronato.
Is there anything else you think you want to talk about? Anything you want to
I
tell me?
mean, no, there's nothing really else. I mean, if I could say anything to her, it's be, sorry for all this. It, was stupid. But I mean, would I still like a chance to speak with her? Sure. But I'm pretty sure she's pretty much hell-bent against that not happening.
Well, I mean, at this point,
Like I said, if I could just, speak to her, explain everything to her, why it's happened, the whole bits and pieces to it, if she'd be willing to do that, I'd be more than happy to tell her. If she would like a full explanation, hell, I'm always here.
A study of stalkers published by the American Journal of Psychology divides stalkers into 5 groups: rejected, intimacy-seeking, incompetent, resentful, and predatory. It's impossible to say exactly which group or groups Thomas falls into, but his statements to investigators can be analyzed, along with the behaviors he confesses to. The study shows that stalkers seeking intimacy view the object of their attention as their true love. Researchers use the term morbid infatuations to describe the obsession had by stalkers who continue to pursue their victim, even without certainty that they'll succeed in establishing a relationship. The study identifies incompetent stalkers as those who acknowledge that the object of their attention does not feel the same way, but hope that their behavior will lead to intimacy anyway. Researchers found that predatory stalkers stalk their victims before planning an attack. These stalkers enjoy the planning process and even fantasize about the attack before it happens. One predatory stalker referenced in the study purchased ether and ropes when planning to abduct the object of his infatuation.
I had duct tape, I had zip ties, I had 2 brass automatic center punches, I had a fairly new old-timer pocket knife.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out you planned out the travel down, you planned out contingencies in case the things didn't go to plan, the duct tape, the zip ties.
The duct tapes were actually, obviously like with handcuffs, like you get on a wrist.
Right.
Also, like a zip tie's not as strong. So if you use duct tape to actually bring the arms, further up next to elbow together.
So you put the zip tie and then you put duct tape over that, so
like
they can't?
No, I'm talking about like where my wrists are.
Yeah.
Zip ties there, and there's a reinforcement up by the elbows. Use duct tape as reinforcement.
Oh.
But like I said, was I trying to harm her? Hell no. Just wanted to talk. Obviously,
What was
restrain.
the plan, I guess, as far as if you got her zip tied and duct taped,
Sit down.
Sit down and talk to you?
Yeah, sit down, talk, see, why she rejected me, why she didn't respond, And after that, I would have peacefully left. Or, call the cops, turn myself in. Like I said, if I wanted to harm someone, I would have, but I didn't.
Were you planning on having sex with her?
No. Now, you will find a condom that's been in my wallet and a little compartment where my social security card and birth certificate are. That's been there for 8, 9 months, maybe longer. So, yeah. And you will probably find somewhere in my car 3 condoms, Durex, purple label. Those things, I've had them for 4 or 5 years. So,
Did you say anything to her while you were in the house about having sex?
No.
And you don't remember any specific comments you made? Because you said what you wanted to say, but you didn't tell me what you wanted to say.
I basically just told her, mainly she was one of the reasons why I almost took my life multiple times over the last 4 years. And, that's pretty much it.
So do you blame her?
No, I don't blame her. I mean, but her, not even having the decency to reject me, at least say, sorry, not interested. For certain people, that can weigh on your mind a little, It can make you wonder, like, maybe she never seen the message, maybe she didn't. Or, like some people, why aren't you good enough? Why not give the average person a chance? Just because I'm not a celebrity, just because I'm not wealthy,
I get it, but I want to make sure you understand, like, because now I'm going through this and kind of learning about her. It sounds like she's been in the game for 4 or 5 years. It sounds like you're saying.
Wrestling, yeah, she did have a few years. She was into MMA. She was fighting there for a little while. She had a few fights. So.
But I mean, you know a lot about her, and you can understand that as a celebrity, which is what you keep saying she is.
Well, she is recognized as a celebrity, so yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about it, but looks like she's a celebrity to me.
Yeah.
You know, they probably get 100,000 DMs a year from people that they don't know.
Yeah, I know.
And you know, it'll be hard for her to respond to every single one of those.
For the first time in the interrogation, the detective argues logic against Thomas.
But like I said, the only thing I wanted to do was have a conversation with her. Nothing more, nothing less. So, you know.
But did you think that that would actually play out going through the back? Why didn't you go to the front door?
Because hell, it's a gated community. You have to go through the gates to get in. And obviously people would see you from the front.
Are you in a relationship right now?
No.
But you've been in a serious relationship?
No. Because past people I've attempted to be with, either they wanted all the money I had, you know, send them gift cards, send this, that, and the other, or either they were just, you know, people who just weren't with it.
I guess where I was going with that is I just wanted to see if someone came in through your rear glass sliding door into your house to talk to you, that's not really normal, right? Going through the front door or knocking at the front door, because that's where your mailman goes, that's where everybody your neighbors are going to come.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, I definitely see your point.
I just wonder if this would have played out differently if you go to the front door.
She probably would have.
And you never even thought about that?
I thought about it, but I thought that mainly she would probably just say, hey, hi, what do you want? Then.
But that's all you were trying to do, right?
I mean, it would have a little more detailed conversation than just, hey, hi, how you doing, you know?
You know, obviously, when I hear your story, it sounds like you're very passionate about her and
yeah,
her
I mean,
career.
She does mean a lot to me, her career, her achievements that she's made so far, you know, yeah. I definitely look forward to when she eventually becomes champion in WWE. I mean, at some point, they probably will have her a storyline that leads to that. So, it's just a matter of time when it happens.
You had planned it up to going into the house. It sounds like you had planned a whole nother, you know, like, oh, this is what's going to happen. But then when you got there, none of that really happened. It sounds like you just sat in the house.
I just sat back there waiting for the right time to actually go in. And I said, you know what, I'll see if there's any unlocked doors or anything. And like a dumbass, I didn't really think there would be an alarm. I knew there was a possibility of being there, but I thought, you know, maybe it's probably disabled because, hell, there's a door unlocked. So, you never know. So, if I would have just waited till in the morning until she actually came outside, things might have went a little bit better, you never know. But then again, I was getting tired, legs were getting sore, getting kind of cramped up a little bit, so, you know. To be honest, it was actually just a mistake on my part. If I'd just been a little more patient, things may have played out differently.
Rather than registering the complete violation of privacy and the danger he put Baronato in, Thomas simply considers his mistake as not having been patient enough to encounter Baronato outside her home the next morning.
And I guess the word kidnapping comes up because having zip ties and duct tape. So when you're holding somebody,
I suppose it could, but that was not the intention.
Because when you're holding somebody against
I guess the better word rather than kidnapping would probably be hostage. Yeah. Or temporary hostage.
And that's what I was trying to say, I guess, is that, because let's just say that plays out in the morning, that's the only outcome I see is you would have had to have taken her hostage at that point to be able to talk to her.
So yeah, just basically just talk, that's it. After I heard what I wanted to hear, just release her. Like I said, I wanted nothing more, nothing less.
But how long would that have been? I mean, just until she answered your questions?
Until I got the answers I wanted, yeah.
Like what if she didn't give you the answers you wanted?
Well, then I guess she would have missed a very big match that she has coming up on Sunday at SummerSlam, which is another really big pay-per-view event that WWE has. So, I mean, you know, if you want that payday.
Wait, now, like that's this, like today, Sunday?
No, like next Sunday.
Oh, a week from now.
Yeah.
And you're saying she would have missed that?
Well, so I got my answers, yeah.
Thomas claims again that the zip ties and duct tape were for precautionary measures, taken for his own safety, given Baronato's successful background in mixed martial arts. He also reveals an aspect of his childhood that many predatory offenders have in common. Thomas was bullied.
I mean, hell, as a kid I was bullied in school, so I learned how to take punches. You know, to the stomach, the gut, jaw, you know.
So you would have held her until you got your answers, and the answers were to understand why she didn't want a relationship with you.
Why she just couldn't at least, at the very least, just reject, you know, and just say, you know, sorry, not interested, which she never even did that.
So the plan, I guess, that in case she didn't answer, you would have been holding on to her until she answers your questions. You would just been living in her house.
I'd probably stay outside. I'm not really a fan of being in someone's house. To be honest with you, I live in a single wide trailer. So, you know, a 2-story house is still, you know, foreign territory to me.
Despite his own alleged experiences as a victim, Thomas does not appear to regret his plan to attempt to hold Baronato as a temporary hostage, as he called it, only that he wasn't patient enough to wait until morning to carry out his plan. In the end, Thomas avoided a trial by accepting a plea deal in April of 2024. He was sentenced to 15 years behind bars and an additional 15 years of probation. The judge also declared a no-contact order for Baronato and her family. Upon hearing the news of the plea deal, Baronato thanked the Hillsborough Police Department and the courts in an Instagram post. Within 60 days of his eventual release from prison, Thomas must undergo a psychosexual evaluation and complete any recommendations resulting from the evaluation. He is set to be released in 2034.